Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host Saeed. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight, Wednesday, 11th of May, 2022. Remember, it's our public concerns night, viewers. So call your friends and your family, let them know that Real Talk with Saieed Ali is going live with our public concerns night tonight. Remember, tonight we deal with the road, the drain, the bridges, the councillor not attending to your area, the MPs, you're not seeing them. You know, tonight is the night we dedicate just for that. So if you're close to your councillor, you have his number, you could probably call him and let him know, hey, Saeed start, you could probably call in and highlight the situation that we're having. You know, and let's get road and bridges and drains and things fixed, even the broken bridges, the areas that is not being attended to, you know. Call in tonight. Let's highlight these issues and let the Ministry of Works and Transport work for us instead of we work for them. You see, we employ them to work for us. You see, I will tell you something. Ministers fail to realize that their job is to serve the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, not to bully the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. Some of them, they feel because that they are a minister that they are untouchable. But at one point in time, before they reach that hierarchy position, they were a man on the streets. They were driving a normal car going to work. They were getting wet in the rain just like everybody else. They were pulling on the corner and eating doubles from the doubles man. But as they hold the title of a minister, all of a sudden they turn into Prince Charming. The doubles man, I don't can't even see them. Just imagine that their $5 that they used to go and pay the doubles man, that $5 is gold now. All because they hold the position of a minister or a MP. But at the end of the day, when you hear they go up Cora to make their cook, it's the same curry they used to cook before, you know. The curry didn't change and the duck ain't change. Because duck can't turn into command fowl. So all this wrong that is be pulling, I just wonder where they're going with it. I just want to know where they're going with it. Because before they reach a minister and they pull up in the corner and take that double, they go jump out in the rain. Nobody has sheltering them with umbrella, you know. But as they get ministership, somebody has to shelter them with umbrella. They turn Prince Charming overnight. That's why I just insult them. That's why I just light them up on TV. Because they reach a minister or MP, he's a big Dan. Me? You better pray Saeed finally ain't nothing. Because when the press and other stations would refuse to highlight, I will bust it in the public domain. Let the whole world know. Let the whole world know. So viewers, just an update that happened in our country during the course of today. There are now 622 COVID-19 cases emerging among staff and students in school nationwide since the start of the third academic term. Minister of Health Terence Dialsingh indicated that there were 306 cases coming from 144 schools as he presented the figures for cases between May 2nd and 8th. Health Minister, Mr. Dialsingh, has stated that in light of the recent WHO guidelines, the Ministry of Health will be allowing children aged 12 to 18 to receive booster from Friday coming. So those of you who want to take the booster shot, according to the Ministry of Health, Friday coming, they're going to start giving it out to kids, children, teenagers from 12 to 18. Moving along. Hey, we have something to boss, you know, but tonight is not the night for that. Tonight is not the night for that. But I'll just give you a a little snippet. Minister of Energy Stuart Young have stated that Trinidad and Tobago is ready and willing to help the world wean itself off Russia oil and gas amid the Ukraine invasion. He added that TNT is doing better coming out of the pandemic, seeing increase in revenue from LNG and ammonia. He stated that increased revenue will be used to pay bills. So Trinidad and Tobago, I want to get into this bacchanal, you know, but I won't have enough time to go into that. Because tonight, viewers, is the night that Real Talk have dedicated to deal with the road, the drain, the bridges, the non-attendance of the MPs and the councillor to the communities. But you know, it pushing me to go into Stuart Young and this big CNN briefing he had. A big, you know. I don't know how many of you saw it, but Stuarty boy, it's a shame. It's a shame that Colin Imboud looking for $3 billion more while you telling the international world on a CNN interview that the revenue we getting will pay for education and it will pay the bills in Trinidad and Tobago, and we are going to help other countries wean off Russia and Ukraine because you in Trinidad, Stuarty, you're going to supply countries with oil and gas. But keep in mind, Stuarty, the Prime Minister said because of low production, they had to shut down the refinery. So I want to know, Stuarty, which part in Trinidad now and who we supplying oil and gas to? Stuarty, a little under the weather with my throat. But tonight is public concerns night. So Stuarty, I will save you. I will save this topic Trinidad and Tobago for Thursday, which is tomorrow night. Thursday will be the 12th. I'm saving this issue for the 12th, Stuarty. Let me tell you something. You will get one bashing, One bashing you will get on national television from Saieed. You would want to know which side it come from. Stuarty, you cannot go on CNN, Mr. Stuart Young, and tell the world that Trinidad and Tobago is ready to help other countries to wean off Ukraine and wean off Russia, and Trinidad and Tobago have oil to supply oil and gas, when our Prime Minister said we shut down the refinery and we close down Petrochin because of low production. Stuarty boy, oh my goodness. Nevertheless, Stuart, I respect you as a minister. I have my respect for you because you are a minister of Trinidad and Tobago. You are the Minister of Energy in Trinidad and Tobago. So I have respect because you hold the title of a ministership. But you see, Mama Guy, the citizens of Trinidad, and then you're going on CNN now to tell the citizens that, oh God, we're going to help all your wean off. Hey, Stuarty, that's a mistake you make. You go fool all the people some of the time. But you cannot fool all the people, Stuarty, all the time. But come tomorrow, Thursday night, we go deal with that, Stuarty. We go deal with that. I never expected you there. Like I said, viewers, Colin Imboud is embarrassed Trinidad and Tobago on the medical level on an international scale. Now Stuart Young now went on CNN. Oh my goodness. It's better your phone it give trouble and you tell the you tell the guy that, oh God, because of internet problem we cannot get through, we cannot have it. You make a mistake, Stuarty. But nevertheless. So Trinidad and Tobago, Attorney General Regional Amo has stated that the regulation for a limited cannabis trade will benefit this country economically and help certain patients, while its decriminalization has rightly spared users from prison. He plotted the Cannabis Control Bill 2020 to regulate a proposed cannabis industry in TNT for medical, scientific, and for religious purpose. After the 2019 Dangerous Drug Amendment Act had previously decriminalized the growing and personal use for a small amount of the herb, he said the board of the Cannabis Authority will be responsible for cannabis license, monitoring the handling of cannabis, and keeping a register or a registry of license. The AG added that the authority will allow a doctor to prescribe cannabis in specific dose to a patient and a pharmacist to dispense it. Now I could give you kudos, Mr. Amo, for saying this. I could give you kudos for saying this. Even though we pushed heavily and wholeheartedly for the decriminalization of marijuana for up to 30 grams in your possession, I give you kudos for saying this. Because even though I pushed for it, and the former Attorney General heard and understand why we needed it in Trinidad and Tobago, we are well on the way to getting the cannabis license in Trinidad. So thank you so much, Mr. Amo. And I hope in the future, just how the former Attorney General would listen to Saieed and would listen to the common sense that he is making. You know the little sense I have? The little sense I have is put it to use. And you would understand, Mr. Amo, what we are pushing for on Real Talk is nothing to harm the citizen, you know. You see, I come here every night, we look for solutions to problems we are having. And right now we are having big problems in the energy sector where Stuart Young is saying we will help other countries. We know of Ukraine. While our Prime Minister is saying they shut down the refinery because of low production. Hey, that's a bacchanal for Thursday night. But nevertheless. So viewers, 238-6716 is our phone line to call in. It's our public concerns night. Going and start now. So I want you to call in only to talk about the road, the drain, and the bridges in your community. That is the only call we are going to be taking tonight. So as we start off that segment tonight, last Wednesday, the 4th of April, Real Talk highlighted the Manzalena residents were claiming of a drain that belonged to the regional corporation which were caving in. Now, the drain, it needed to be cleaned and was distressing villagers along the Manzalena road. Now, residents stated that many complaints were made to the corporation and all they got from the corporation was sandbags. That is all they got, sandbags. However, viewers, that was the drain you are seeing before. That would have been on Wednesday the 4th of April, last week, we aired this. Now, however, the day after highlighting the issue, the drains were cleared and residents stated that they are hopeful that the corporation does repairs soon. So after we highlighted the issue, viewers, the corporation went and they cleared the drain. So tonight now, wholeheartedly, I want to thank the regional corporation of the Myro division for cleaning the drain in Manzalina. Kudos to you guys. You know who you were. From the chairman to the backhoe man, to the man with the shovel, to the man who went down in the drain. Kudos to you for going to clean the drain. Now viewers, this is the reason why I tell you. We have an email, Real Public Concerns, right? Send your videos and your photos with a little note to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com. And just how those people, those residents in Manzalina got their drain clean. Just so you could get your road, your bridge and your drain highlighted on Real Talk and probably fixed within the week, within 2 weeks time, just as in Manzalina. So as we move along, more than 40 workers in the Community-Based Environmental Protection and Enhancement Program, CPEP, in Tobago have been fired. This was confirmed by the Secretary in the THA Division of Community Development, Youth Development and Sport, Terence Baines. Baines stated that the information regarding what is happening in CPEP is going to be put in the public space for all to interact with. Very soon, everyone will get the information at the same time. So imagine, 40 of them have no work in a time like this. 40 individuals have no work in Tobago. I wonder what caused it. But nevertheless, we will go into it. We're going to get some information to us, and we're going to pass it back on to you. 2386716. So moving along tonight, 6 houses are on the brink of collapse, and 15 more families are in danger of being cut off as 2 major landslips deteriorated rapidly at Pluck Road in San Francisco. Residents and business owners took action by staging a fiery blockade across the road, which had dropped more than 15 feet. One resident, whose house had slipped down, stated that it was terrifying living in a sinking house. She added that the landfill was man-made and a 4-inch water line broke in April, which took 12 days for WASA to fix. And this caused the landslip to claim an expanse of land. Siparia Regional Corporation Chairman Dinesh Sankar Singh said the road fell under Works Ministry and noted that the corporation has tried to assist, but with limited resource, little could be done. However, a source at the Ministry of Works added that the matter is being addressed, nothing that a feasible study was done recently. Noting that a feasible studies were done recently. So I will tell you something now. We have this thing now that when they do a feasible study, it takes months. It might take years before they actually come to see about the road or see about the drain. It's always a feasible studies. 1 year pass, 2 years pass, 3 years pass, 4 years pass. Government come and go, and it's always about a feasible study. When are we in Trinidad and Tobago are actually going to get up and get things done as fast as possible? When are we actually going to do that? When? When we reach 2030? We want to go into the 21st century with technology and we cannot get a landslip fix? Just imagine that, eh? Just imagine that. A landslip have to take months, maybe years, to do a feasible study, and the government might come and go, and the feasible study ain't done as yet. But we're looking to improve. Improve what? Improve what? What you need to improve is the time span that they take to actually conduct a feasible study. That is what we need to fix. We need to fix the time span, because it takes years and years to complete a study. Or is it some contractor is just looking for the easy way out to make money? I don't know. Somebody say something. It's sad. It's really, really sad to know that so long we have to wait in order to get something done in Trinidad. A simple road. Colin Mimbut have access to finance. But Rohan Sinanan, to me, like, he cannot go to Colin Mimbut and tell him, but hey, I am the Minister of Road and I need money to fix road. Like, he cannot do that. He cannot do that. Caller, good night.
Hello?
Go right ahead, you're live on Real Talk.
Saeed?
Yes?
Pleasant night to you, how are you going?
Good night, I'm okay.
What happened, I'm calling on behalf of my son. He got some pictures on past the street and Mr. Hines area with a time Hines. So what happened is still like you take all the pictures, right? But he really can't send it because like you take it on his phone and you have to upgrade it now.
Okay. But give us a little complaint about the road in your area.
Yes, up on past the street in Bola Street, man, if you see pothole, boy, I know when my son coming up with the car, he had to be jumping hole and jumping hole. Last time I saw this man was in 2015 in January election.
No, but when last did they fix your area?
Why since 2015 the road is our 5 years.
Wow. So the pothole just keep appearing on the road, they just coming in?
Yeah, they just more potholes come in.
Thank you so much, my friend. Nearly 20 years after Caroni 1975 was closed, lease to former Caroni workers, which were part of the voluntary separation package VSEP, are yet to be completed. After 20 years, After 20 years. And this is what I have said just now. We need to fix the time span in getting things done in Trinidad and Tobago. The time span is too long. 20 years now and some of them still waiting. However, the Estate Management Business Development Company, that is the EMBD, a special purpose, a special proposed state entity which was vested with Caroni land, stated that it is 95% complete with 130 more to go. The EMBD noted that as part of the Caroni VSEP, each former Caroni worker was to be granted one agriculture sublease from the government through the Commissioners of State Land for a 2-acre parcel of land for a 30-year lease. It adds that in 2008, all of the agriculture sublease were prepared by the Chief State Solicitor on behalf of the Commissioners of State Land. But in 2010, EMBD was vested with a head lease for 7 agriculture estates, namely Caroni, Juninam Junction, Felicity 1 and 2, La Gloria, Edinburgh, and La Fortune Picton. So is the EMBD now responsible for this development? Caller, good night.
Good night, Sai.
Go right ahead.
If you read the Highways Act, the maintenance of roads is supposed to be done by Highways Authority. The main roads, that is the Works Department, and the other streets and whatnot is the regional authorities and the boroughs and cities. These things used to be done by workers in-house. The problem today is all these are given out to contractors. And I'm sure you have the ability to check, and you will find out that the kickback to get a contract now has gone up from 10% to 30%. The net effect of that is nobody checks the quality of the work done.
Correct.
And these works do not last a full year. You have to go back to the thing with the Highways Authority having a road officer who would prepare a program of works for the period. That is the only way to solve your problem. Right? I don't know if you need to ask me any further questions.
Thank you, my friend. You see what, as the caller said, what we don't have is regular maintenance. That is what we don't have. And I've been saying this over and over and over. Why do we need contractors to fix the road when we have the Works Division and we have the County Council Division? They have excavator, they have backhoe, they have truck, they have tractor, they have steamroller, they have the workforce. So I ask myself, why is it Rohan Sinanan paying millions of dollars to contractor when the Works Ministry could form their own thing and see about the roads? Rohan, could you answer that question? Could you answer that? We have Works Department, we have County Council Department, we have Drainage Department, we have Road Department, we have Highway Department, we have Bridges Department. But yet we go to contractors. You see, I will tell you something. There is many ways that the government could save money. Save money. Save millions of dollars. But why aren't they doing it? Why aren't they doing it? Because somebody in the ministry friend have about 20 backhoe and 20 truck. I tell you, some people go afraid to talk, but I ain't afraid, you know. I ain't afraid, you know. Because there's too much of money wasting in Trinidad. Too much of money wasting in Trinidad in fixing roads. And then we have the finance minister now, always wants to bring out some tax to tax the poor people. Why is this? Colin and Bert asking for $3 billion more. Where are we going to get $3 billion more? You recently implemented property tax with a penalty. If the citizens don't pay property tax, they have a penalty to pay. But you exempted a multi-millionaire. Colin, you give exemptions to multi-millionaire. For those who have multi-story dwelling apartment, they should be exempted from paying property tax. Call a good night.
Good night.
Go right ahead. Thank you. Just imagine that is happening right here. You see, Colin Imbert failed to realize that he works for the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. The entire PNM administration, they failed to realize that they were placed into power by the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. They are employed by the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. They have to work for the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. But we in Trinidad, you know what we do? We allow them to walk over us. That is what we allow them to do. We allow them to walk over us. And we can't do nothing. Colin Membert said, if you don't pay property tax, if you don't submit your form, you have a penalty. And what these citizens of Trinidad and Tobago do is that they run gone. They run gone. Me? Run to go away. Run to go away. Because Colin Membert say, if you don't pay, you don't submit your form, you go pay a 5,000 penalty. Why the hell he exempted businessmen from Trinidad and Tobago from paying hundreds of thousands of dollars in property tax? But you want to come and tell me now, if I don't pay property tax, I have a penalty? Boy, carry me to court. Carry me to court. We had the illiterate one, the smart one, and the well-educated one. Everybody run to pay property tax. Why? Because, you know, Colin say we have a penalty. I'm going to tell you something. Not one lawyer in Trinidad and Tobago, not one single lawyer in Trinidad and Tobago came and tell the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, it is wrong. It is wrong for Colin Imbert to announce a penalty to citizens of Trinidad and Tobago if they fail to submit their property tax form. Not one lawyer challenged the finance minister. Not one of them. Not one of them. Just imagine that, eh? Just imagine that. I, Saieed, had to come on television and highlight this whole issue. Then to open your eyes, only to realize Colin Imbert penalizing us as citizens when we, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, put him where he is today. And that is why I have been saying, I am not going to submit no property tax form and I ain't going to pay no penalty. You want me to pay property tax? Remove the exemption. Let every single individual in Trinidad and Tobago pay property tax. That's the only way you'll get Saieed to pay it. Other than that, carry me to court and I will ask the magistrate, why did Colin Imbert exempt those who have multi-story dwelling apartment? You could pay $300,000 in a matter of 12 months' time. But the small man now have to find about, how much? About 30,000. Imagine that. Imagine that. And I must sit down and say, great is Colin Imbert, the Minister of Finance, when he put a penalty on my head if I don't submit that form. Caller, good night.
Good evening, Mr. Saieed.
Go right ahead, my friend.
Saieed, I think a lot of the people in this country doesn't realize what it is we are really faced with in this country.
Well said.
Now, plenty of people don't realize that Trinidad and Tobago is 5,131 square kilometers. That is just a little piece of mud compared to other countries in the world.
Correct.
And the money that passed through this country, every square kilometer in this country could have been paved with
well
tires.
said. Yes.
And be the perfect that you could ever even dream about. And people have to understand that the problem in this country is the PNM, was the PNM,
and still would be the PNM. Because the worst thing could have ever happened to Trinidad and Tobago was to see that man they call Eric Eustace Williams to be the Prime Minister of this country and govern this country for over 35 years, uncontested. That man just adopted the same mentality of slavery and put it onto the people of this country and make them so vulnerable, so fearful and so illiterate that they don't understand the wealth that this country has and the lifestyle the people of Trinidad and Tobago supposed to be living up to today. Now you will see Guyana becoming the Dubai of the Caribbean.
Well said.
And you would see Trinidad and Tobago becoming the Haiti of the Caribbean. Let me just point out one simple example of the vision of the PNM government. Remember the Turba Link Road from the San Fernando Technical Institute to the roundabout there? Where for years always caving away and caving away. They keep on spending millions and millions of dollars of money to repair that. And then it just take 1 year of our UNC government to come and fix that problem, and they never had that issue again. And it has so many other situations that if people just wake up and understand that, oh, the problem in this country is the PNM, you have to get rid of them, or else there will be no hope for this country again. Let me tell you something. If this mentality that the people have that feel that, oh, here what? Okay, next 3 years we go wait until our next government come and rescue this country. Let me tell you something. There are no hope for Trinidad and Tobago. Right? We're in a real bad place. People just doesn't realize it as yet. And you see the crime that is taking place right now in this country. If they feel that, oh, it's going to get better, if they feel that somebody going to wave a magic wand and tomorrow they'll get up and feel more comfortable, trust me, they're going to get 10 times worse than it is right now. Have a good night, Mr. Said. Enjoy yourself.
Thank you, my friend. I want the viewers of Real Talk to understand. I want to let you really understand. These ministers, like I always say, I'm not against party, you know. I'm not against party, you know. But leaders and authorities supposed to be working for the benefit of the country. Can we really say our leaders that we have is actually working for the country or for the people? Can we really say that? Caller, good night.
Hello, good night, sir.
My friend.
I just talk it as I see it, right? And I don't care who vexed with me. I'm not talking race there, but I'm talking what I custom seeing election after election. What the African man sees, he wants to see a black prime minister. And all of them is failures. All the only two good government that passed there was and Kamala. But them ain't busy about nothing else, but it's only, I want to see a black man, black prime minister. But we want to live with that.
Thank you, my friend. You see, I could tell you something. This simple little thing, as Colin Imbert putting a penalty to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago who refuse to pay property tax, but exempted. Hear this now. You have people who take loan for 40 years to build a house and have to work all their lives to finish pay for that. While we have a multi-millionaire who would have 2 and 3 or maybe 4 multi-story dwelling apartments. Understand what I say in Trinidad and Tobago. He is exempted from paying property tax. I want you to understand, exempted means he not paying. He cannot pay. He has no authority to pay. But on the smaller man who had to pay a mortgage for 50 years, a penalty is brought upon him if he do not pay his property tax. How hard is that so to understand? But we as citizens now, oh God, I have a penalty to pay and I run gone. Me running to go away. You see, I understand what Colin Imbert did. And Colin Imbert is not going to scare Saieed Ali into running to pay my property tax because you put a penalty. No. I'm not doing that. You is a man, I is a man. You is a public figure, I am a public figure. You is a businessman, I is a businessman. The only difference is that you hold the title of a ministership. That's the only thing you hold. That is the only thing you hold. And you know what Saieed could do? Hear this. Saieed could join our party and contribute to that party and go for an MP position. But I wouldn't do that. If I go into that position, I will encounter many red flags in my pathway because I go want to help people beyond that red flag. And this red flag will hamper me from going at those beyond the red flag. Caller, good night.
A very good evening to you, Mr. Saieed.
Go right ahead, my friend.
I just want to touch on what we were talking about yesterday with Mr. Fitzgerald. When he said that there's 12,000
guns,
illegal firearms out there, and when they asked how that, he say intelligence
unit.
say that.
Yeah, intelligence give him the info.
Right, but as if I was the Minister of National Security, I wasn't going to disclose that to the general public, that I have intelligence, there is 12,000 firearms, and we're coming for it. Because if there is really a number of firearms out there, the people is going to move their firearms and secure it.
No, but so hear this, caller, hear this. In order for intelligence to tell Hines that, hey, we have 12,000 guns, intelligence units have to know exactly where the guns are.
Side between me and you, this is a big total lie. No intelligence, just feeling to talk. All the best, have a great evening.
Thank you, my friend. Because, hey, I run an intelligence unit. I run Real Talk Security and Intelligence Unit. So Fitzgerald Hines cannot come and tell me nothing about intelligence. Because when intelligence comes to me, I will know where, when, and why. That's one thing you cannot fool Saieed with. But nevertheless, I went astray from my from a Wednesday night show. Long-standing inefficiency in the distribution and administration of state land, including land and agriculture use, has resulted in the government being unable to collect $500 million in rent from some of those land in 2020. Didn't Colin Imbert take out $500 million from agriculture and put it elsewhere? Those of you who remember that. How many of you remember Colin Imbert take out $500,000 from agriculture and spend it elsewhere? We had an interview with Clarence Rambarat, and Clarence Rambarat said yes, they took out $500 million from agriculture and they spent it elsewhere. All remember that? Agriculture Minister Kazim Hussain stated that challenges involving the distribution and execution of lease for the state agriculture land has dodged TNT for at least 30 years. Caller, good night.
Saieed, good night.
Go right
Saieed,
ahead.
I am just a normal
guy on the ground floor that does follow economics of this country, okay? Saeed, I want to say to you and to the public of Trinidad and Tobago that if they're going to raise property tax for the citizens of this country again, it has to be across the board and for everybody.
Correct.
If Colin Imbert is not paying no tax, I am not paying none. And let me meet in the road and fight it out.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I am saying. You see, Colin Imbert know that he would be involved in a multi-story dwelling apartment building back in 2016, 2019. So he brought out that law now, so he will be exempted among those who have those buildings. And who knows, their property tax could be anywhere between 100 to 300,000. Imagine that. Imagine that. At 300,000 per year. And 10 businessmen who have multi-story dwelling apartment, how much are you getting? 1.3. 1.3. Think about it. The Minister, Kazem Hussein, stated that government makes no apologies for making the grant of state land lease and the renewal of expired lease a priority in the expansion of our local food supplies. Hussein added that the creation of an IT-based single point of authority will be used for the management and administration of state land.
The government makes no apologies for making the grant of state lands and leases and the renewal of expired leases a priority in the expansion of our local food supply. Proper administration and management of state land and the identification of an IT-based single point management of authority for the management and administrative of state land using the existing human resources and the infrastructure at the Ministry of Agriculture, Land and Fisheries and the other agencies of the state. This will enable the state to better manage its agricultural estates and other leases and collect the rent due.
He also recalled condemnation from National Marketing Development Company, NAMDEVCO, food box program to provide for food to families during the COVID-19 pandemic. Hussein stated that 139,906 market boxes were delivered over the period May 2021 to September 2021, and 49,075 chicken and frozen provision package to families in May to September 2021.
A total of 139,906 market boxes were delivered over the period 2021 May to September 2021, and additionally 49,075 chicken and frozen provision packages to 49,075 families in May to September 2021 period.
Now those food distribution, remember when we had Clarence Shambarat? I had him on our calling program very often, sometimes 2 times, 3 times for the month, or maybe more, to keep on giving us updates and feedback from what the agriculture sector in Trinidad and Tobago, especially NAMDEVCO, now they were purchasing agriculture produce. They were buying agriculture product and produce from farmers locally. Because the reason why I am saying this, because remember at one point in time farmers were complaining that they were not getting checks. They were not getting checks. Call good night.
Good night, Mr. Ali.
Go right ahead.
I remember you were saying something about Mr. Colin Edward being exempted from the taxes. I will explain to you how I see it. Remember the Prime Minister did say he have to take from the poor to make the rich richer. So this is the whole idea of what I'm seeing happening now.
The Prime Minister said the rich have to get richer in order to create jobs for the poor.
For the poor. So this is where it reached to. So are we going to accept that?
Apparently the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, they want that.
Okay. Well, I could see you answering that for them, but not for yourself. For sure not for yourself.
Thank you, my friend. After toiling in the fields, tending to their crops, and spending thousands of dollars on animal feed, farmers in South area are again contemplating whether the agriculture business remains feasible as thieves are consistently looting their farms. More than 30 farmers from Princestown, Golconda and St. Madeleine gathered at Kunjal Road, Barapo, stated that officers at the pre-larceny squad in Princestown choose to stop working. I wonder if they're getting paid to stop working. Last month, the officers said they would not carry out their duties until they are met with Minister of Agriculture, Land and Fisheries, Kazim Hussein, to discuss several issues. Farmers have been cooperating with the PLS, that's the pre-larceny squad, sending information about thieves, including identifications and vehicular number. Just imagine this, they're getting vehicle numbers. However, the PLS, pre-larceny squad, does not respond. Marad said, when farmers go to the PLS office, the officers turn them away, citing there is no equipment and resources. So tonight now, I want to make a plea on behalf of the farmers of Trinidad and Tobago. Now I'm going to tell you something. Why am I saying Trinidad and Tobago? Because farmers work hard and they can lose their crops at any point in time throughout Trinidad and Tobago. So I would like the Minister of Land and Fisheries, the Agriculture Minister Kazim Hussein, to please have a meeting with about 30 farmers from the Protestant, Golconda and St. Madeleine area, because they are going to the pre-larceny squad, which is in Fairfield, St. Julian Village in Fairfield, and they are being turned away. Why is this? Why is this happening right here? Why? Farmers working hard. So, having said that, I would like somebody, some officer, or some manager or supervisor from the pre-larceny squad, contact me, Saeed. You can contact my office at 238-6716, or you can call me direct at 339-1670. Contact me. Let me know what type of resources are you all lacking. Because the farmers are depending on you, your office. So what you could do is contact me, and I will contact the minister, because in the month of Ramadan, I did contact Kazim Hussein, and he said, Saeed, it has been 26 days now that I am in the ministry. I would love to keep an interview live on television, as Clarence Shambarat used to do, but he wants to sort out the ministry. He wants to get a feel of the ministry. And then it was in the month of Ramadan, he had to go mosque, and I could understand that. So I did tell him, I said, I understand where you're coming from, but I hope in the coming weeks that we will be able to have an interview with you. He said, Saeed, that is not a problem. So I'm giving him the time that he needs to fill out the ministry. He did indicate to me that he were in conversations with farmers. Right? So the pre-larceny squad, Your office is in the St. Julian district, Fairfield, St. Julian. Contact me 3391670 or call my office 2386716 and leave a number where I can contact you. I want to know what type of resources you are lacking, so I could relate with the Minister of Agriculture, Kazim Hussein, and let him know what you all need. Let me tell you something. Nobody can push agriculture in Trinidad like Saieed, you know. Take what I'm telling you. Take what I'm telling you. You see, Robert LaHunt thought he was the former public utility minister in Wassa. When the Wassa police and them, remember when they locked up the Arangwes farmers? They thought they could have penalized the farmers and them for pumping water from their pond. But when I came on television and I asked LaHunt, could you tell me, and could you tell the nation and the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago where Mocha is getting water from to make sure that their lawn is completely green with sprinklers? If you come out and tell the nation where Mocha is getting water from to run those sprinklers to make sure that their lawn are nice and green, then go ahead and charge them. If not, drop all charges. LaHunt couldn't come out and tell Saieed, neither the nation, where Mocha was getting water from to water their nice lawn with sprinklers. They had no other choice but to drop the charges. No other choice. Because I challenged them publicly. I challenged them on national television. Stuart Young, tomorrow night we go deal with you. We go deal with you tomorrow night. An ongoing sewer problem in Monrepo has been plaguing residents who say they want a permanent solution. A pensioner of Smith Street said the latest problem started 2 weeks ago when water from a cesspit began overflowing in her yard and onto the pavement. She said she reported the issue to the Housing Development Corporation, HDC, and San Fernando City Corporation. Councillor from the Monrepo, Navet area, Nigel said he was aware of the issue, adding that area has an aging sewer infrastructure. Aging. Well, I hope Nigel could get it fixed for the residents as soon as possible. So viewers, we are out of time for tonight, but nevertheless, it's Wednesday, 11th of May 2022. You are viewing Real Talk with Saieed Ali on our Public Concerns Night. Remember, Thursday, the 12th of May 2022, we're going to discuss Stuart Young. I'll give you a little insight. We're going to discuss Stuart Young and his international media conference that he had on CNN. So viewers, until we meet again, be safe, enjoy the night, and thank God when you wake up and you see the sun tomorrow. Good night.